Hi everyone, and welcome to Daytime. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you're keeping warm. Please help me welcome a very amazing individual. I have Nick Lomangino on the sofa, and we're going to heat things up. Thank you so much for being here today, sir. Now we're going to talk about Tong Ren healing.
Yes.
I've heard a lot about it thanks to you. So let's start with, what is Tong Ren?
Tong Ren is a form of energy healing, and it was developed by Tom Tam, but essentially, Tong Ren means bronze man.
Bronze man?
Yeah, bronze man. So we use the name bronze man for the simple purpose. In the ancient culture of China, about 1,000 years ago, they had a bronze acupuncture model that was used to locate acupuncture points for the students. Or the students would find the points on that bronze man. They would fill it up with wax.
Okay.
They would cover it with wax, fill it with water, and then the acupuncturist would have to find the points.
Oh.
And when they found the point and they pulled the needle out, it would come out the water.
Oh my! So how did he discover this?
So we use that to keep it in context of traditional Chinese medicine.
Okay.
And although it's not acupuncture,
Right.
but we're using that concept. So he developed it by mistake, essentially.
Oh, how?
Well, there was a patient, because he does energy work, and there was a patient that he regularly treats, a student actually, and he had no needles, clean needles. So he said, well, just for fun, let's draw a picture of the person on a piece of paper, and they had back pain. So he inserted the needles on the image.
Where it corresponds to the back pain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he put the needles in, and sure enough, they felt something.
Really? It's
Yeah.
very, I want to say very voodoo-esque.
Yes,
It sounds.
yes. Well, it is in essence, but that's why we use the word Tong Ren to not affiliate it with voodoo, though it looks like that, and it may even sound like that, but the idea is for healing.
Okay.
And so we focus on specific areas within the body that have blockages with our intention.
Okay, let's talk about the intention, because that's been a huge thing. I mean, with The Secret, all these different types of books
Yeah.
and things like that. So, do you believe in focused intention, that you can change vibration or healing?
Well, we're not really using what we call the conscious mind when we heal. We use the unconscious when healing, but it's a subconscious that's the bridge between the conscious and the unconscious. So when we're doing the Tong Ren, we're not really focusing per se on the area. It's like when you drive, for example.
Okay.
In the beginning, you may be consciously driving, but as you get better, you're not.
Daydream.
Yeah, well, you might be taking coffee.
Unfortunately. Looking around.
That's
yeah.
right. You might be putting makeup on, or you might be
Coffee.
you're drinking coffee, talking. So your conscious mind isn't necessarily driving; it's your subconscious. And so it's the same idea with the healing. We're not really focusing on so direct. It's more of an indirect kind of focus, if you will.
Kind of like hypnosis in a way, in terms of what you were just talking about, the conscious and unconscious
Yes,
mind.
in a way, but we can treat babies and animals. So in essence, it's not really hypnosis.
Okay, so the animal. So even though, how do you get the animal to focus its thought on something?
We're not. We do.
You do it.
Yeah,
You do it for them. So
we
you
do
can
it for
actually do it as a prayer kind of thing.
Yeah, we're doing the healing. So there's two types of Qigong, and Tong Ren falls in the group of Qigong. Qigong has two groups. One would be exercise, and that's like Tai Chi, and most people are familiar with that, but the other is like therapy, which is like, Reiki, therapeutic touch.
Right.
Yeah, Tong Ren falls into that category, but different.
Okay, and how is it different from Reiki?
Well, first we're using the doll.
Okay, so let's take a look at this.
So we're using this as a way to focus our intention onto the patient.
So this is the patient.
Yes, and so then what happens? We have these ongoing classes, and they're weekly, and so people come in and they would sit in a group, and we'd focus one by one on each person. So they would say what they have, and then we would tap on corresponding areas of the body that relate to that blockage or disease or diagnosis.
Okay, so how about if you didn't know where the blockage was?
Well, we would know by the diagnosis.
Right.
Well, the diagnosis, yeah, I would. I'm trained in that, but they would come with a Western diagnosis, or maybe not. Maybe they just have symptoms.
Okay.
So either way, we can still work with that.
Okay, and do you need a qualified practitioner, obviously, to do this type of healing? To then say, okay, well, this is the point you need to
Yeah,
hit,
you would need somebody that, and I do training on that. I do train people on how to do Tong Ren, so that they can do it for themselves, or if they want, for other people as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say I've come into one of your weekly classes,
Yeah.
which is, again, free?
Yeah, it's by donation.
That's so
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I like that. Okay, so you walk in, do you get one of these?
No, people would sit down and we just work on them individually.
Okay.
So unless you're a practitioner or somebody that wants to do the treatment, they would have a doll. But otherwise, you sit down. There's no exercise. Just sit there and we work one by one. So we go through the whole group, and it's roughly about an hour long.
Wow, that's amazing. And you get to heal all of these people, or help
we're
heal
working. Yeah, we're working on each. Yeah.
Okay.
In the group.
So I noticed in one of the videos that you had sent me
Yeah.
that a lot of people were sitting around in
Yeah.
sort of like a semicircle facing the practitioner,
Yeah.
and they were hitting the certain points.
Yeah.
How does that work?
So basically, what we're doing is like you were saying about prayer. We know that prayer works, and that when people pray for people, that they have benefits. So this is no different, but we're not related to any religion. We're
Right.
just focusing on the healing per se. That's it. So we focus on the body, but specific areas. Okay. So we have a theory that when the chi is stuck, and chi is energy essentially, and we can say it's bioelectricity in the Western idea. So when this bioelectrical energy is not flowing, then there's we call obstruction.
Okay.
And we're using energy to open that up, because essentially that's what it is. It's just energy. So to use the concept of energy to open up energy isn't too far-fetched, although it may sound far-fetched. But if you think about what we're going to talk about later is acupuncture, we're using needles. That's a physical thing.
Right.
And that most people think it's stimulating the energy by doing that, but really it's not. It's stimulating the physical component of the body,
Okay.
which releases the tension, which then allows the bioelectrical current to flow.
So blockages could occur emotionally and or physically.
Yes, yeah. But we treat it, and
Okay.
so we treat those blockages, yeah.
Amazing.
But if you want to use Ohm's law is the least amount of resistance. So when there's tension, there's less flow. And when there's less tension, there's better flow.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're focusing our intention, and again, it's a relaxed intention. It's not focused.
Oh, you're not hammering on this.
We
thing.
are focusing, but it's very relaxed.
Okay.
Okay. It's not like we're it's again the subconscious mind is in play.
The logical mind, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Versus the subconscious mind. Okay,
Yeah,
great. So
yeah.
I walk in and
So if somebody were to say they had something internal, which Tong Ren is specifically treat a lot of internal things. So it could be cancer. It could be MS. It could be autoimmune hypothyroid, and a range of things. So we would focus on those blockages per se.
Okay. So let's say it's hypothyroid.
So thyroid would be the hormone.
Okay.
So I would focus on the hormone point. Because we
And
know
do
the
you actually-
hypothalamus. Yeah, there's a point that we use GV22 for the hypothalamus, which affects the
So
pituitary.
this is what would be happening
In the class.
In the class.
Yeah, essentially we'd be tapping on this like that, and then I'd be talking while I'm doing it.
What would you be saying?
I just basically we were talking to the patient and just getting a response, feedback, and usually I can see some change in the patient and
Yeah.
whether
What would they be feeling?
they
as
could
this is happening?
feel heat, tingling, relaxed. They may feel nothing at all, but usually they feel relaxed, and relax is a feeling. So they may say, I don't feel tingling, I don't feel heat, but they're yawning.
Right.
Um,
So you can obviously assess that
Yeah.
they're experiencing something.
yeah. So
Okay.
relaxation is healing, and essentially when the body relaxes, it heals.
Okay.
Okay, it goes into a healing state.
Excellent. I want to
Okay.
continue this conversation
Yeah.
on Tong Ren, and I also want to talk about acupuncture. So Nick is going to stick around. We have lots more to talk about after this